Hello, hi. So there's a new Garuda collection releasing in September, and it is a 19-piece collection which features clothing, obviously, starting from like next to skin layers, mid layers, outer layers, pants, skirts. There's a couple dresses, obviously accessories as well, like headwear and bags as well, and also a couple pieces of jewelry as well. Okay, that's the announcement side of shit out of the way. So if if you were around when we did Satellite City, you'll remember that we put out this little video which was sort of like explaining the big change in brand direction that was taking place for Satellite City, right? And we did it in like sort of an interview format, which made the most sense at the time. Whereas this time, I would much prefer to just keep everything a bit more easy and personal. So that's why I'm choosing to do the announcement of this collection in this format. Now, in terms of this video, I'm not going to be talking about the pieces at all. I will wait for the pieces to come out and for them to explain themselves. The purpose of this video is two main objectives, right? One is that what has happened between Satellite City and today. How have we got into this point of doing a new collection? And lastly, the other objective of this video is why are we doing a collection now? And what are we hoping to understand or achieve via this collection, right? So, I guess we have to start with what happened at Satellite City. So, in terms of design, Satellite City was the most interesting collection it was the only collection because obviously prior to that we were doing drops, right? But it was the first time that we put out a cohesive collection. So it was the most interesting experience that I've personally ever had designing anything, and everything was great in that sense. But the part that I didn't enjoy about Satellite City was because it was the first time we'd done a collection, I didn't realize that the way that a lot of brands operate on a collection seasonal type setting is that, you put the thing out and then you have to market it for 3 months or 6 months whenever your next collection comes out. And I sort of realized a month into Satellite City, after we released Satellite City, that this isn't something that I can personally do. I personally have like zero interest in creating marketing content, and at the time, we didn't have like a team to handle things like that, right? Like the entire company was 4 people. So yeah, I realized that I'm not really like built for a collection seasonal type setting because of the whole like marketing requirement that has. And I realized that my brain operates much better on a frequency based system. So whether that's monthly drops or whatever the case is, right? Because once I finish working on something, I have no interest in looking at it anymore. I'm immediately on, like, everyone I've worked with will vouch for this, that the moment we put something out, I'm not sitting there like thinking about how great it is or how bad it is or whatever the case is. I'm instantly on to the next thing about like, okay, cool, what's next, right? So the whole like trying to market the same shit again for 3 months I wasn't really feeling it, to be honest. And I sort of made up my mind at that point that I'd made up my mind like 80% that I was not going to do a collection again. And I was just going to switch back to drops. So, fast forward to like January this year, I had a meeting with a fellow clothing industry person / friend, and I guess he gave me the push that I needed, that last 20% to say, yeah, I'm not doing a collection again. And I switched back to a drop model, right? Now, the thing was that I wanted to try and do things a little bit differently this year. My main objective this year was that I really wanted to focus on challenging myself and trying to make more approachable products. And I realized that the way for me to approach that would be to stop designing for people who, think about fashion like 12 hours a day. And I wanted to start designing for people who think about clothes for 10 minutes a day. Just because like you're not fully consumed by clothing is no reason for you to like not have good product. So I wanted to try and make cool stuff for people who aren't thinking about fashion all day long. And that worked out reasonably successfully, and happy with the results, etc., etc. And obviously we switched to a bi-weekly, bi-monthly, I don't know. We were dropping every 2 weeks, right? Which was a big jump in frequency even compared to pre-Satellite City, before we were doing when we were still doing drops, right? Because in the past we used to drop like 1 to 2 pieces per month, and in this format we were dropping around 4 to 5 pieces every 2 weeks. And it's been fun as shit, to be honest. Like the constant pressure, I thrive on that shit. And also we tried to play around with color a lot more this time, and not a lot more, like we haven't gone completely left field, right? But everything's not all black for a change, right? Sorry. But then so it's a we now, right? So as I mentioned before, the team was, until January actually, the team was 4 people. And now, today, the team is 10 people. So it's more than doubled, right? Yeah, so essentially we realized that a big part of our interest in our work is, one, to challenge ourselves as designers, and which we've always tried to do, whether it was, challenge is like a subjective thing, right? So like we were trying to challenge ourselves in 2015 all the way till 2022 or whatever. But I suppose we felt like we'd lost some of that challenging ourselves aspect to it, because we were trying to design more approachable products, which is a little easier in a sense. And we also felt like the other aspect was that we felt that we weren't challenging the audience at the same time, right? So we decided that it's probably time to do a collection again. And the key difference this time is that we're just going to go straight back to monthly drops right after the collection is out, right? The new collection is a strictly September thing. These products will be available for a set amount of time, and then we're just going to go back to doing our bi-weekly, every 2 weeks drops, whatever. Which will allow me to do what I need to do and keep my frequency and my pressure that I need on me at all times. So that's one key difference, and essentially we're hoping that we can make the collection thing twice a year thing, or like a once a year thing. So one cohesive collection per year, and for the other 11 months, just drops, right? It gives us an opportunity to challenge ourselves and challenge the audience, which has always been at the heart of what we've tried to do. And yeah, I guess that's how we got here, right? Now in terms of why are we doing a collection, apart from the whole challenging ourselves thing. So the thing is that when I started this in 2015, I sort of mentally told myself that it'll take 10 years for this to be like a sustainable, successful thing. Because I had a very clear idea of what I was trying to achieve. And I knew that I wasn't trying to create some flash in the pan shit, which is just gonna pop off for like a year or two and then, die. And I knew that I needed to take like a slow, sustainable, and like student of the game approach to the whole thing. And fortunately, I mentally prepared myself for it to take 10 years. But the business became somewhat sustainable before that, right? And that's great, etc., etc. So that 10 years is gonna sort of pass in 2025. And in general, like, I plan things in long periods of time. So I'm starting to now process what my goal is for the next 10 years, right? Because 2025 is not far away at this point. And I need to try and figure out what I'm doing till 2035. And I have a very set idea of what I'm hoping to do in 2025 till 2035. I'm not going to explain in detail what that is right now, but I have a reasonably concrete idea of what I would like to achieve. And this new collection is an experiment of whether what I have in my mind is actually accomplishable. So I'm essentially testing a theory with this collection. And, hopefully it works out. And I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about, why a collection now, what happened between the previous collection and today, and how we got here. And I guess the last thing is that the collection will roll out. So, for example, it's 5 a.m. right now on the 20th of August. I just finished editing all the photos for the rollout of the collection, so essentially the major creative part of my work is done for this collection as of today. So I'm essentially about to like shut down the left side of my brain and just do the rollout. So yeah, we'll see how the whole thing goes, and obviously we hope you like it. It is our best work as a team and my best work as whatever I do. I don't know, business owner, designer, whatever. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Bye!